Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. Listen, if you had an extra $100,000 and 2 to 3 years of your life to wait, you could build a car just like this. Imagine frame-off restoration, everything new, wiring, frame painted, all new underneath, shocks, suspension, engine, transmission, everything redone on the car. Essentially what you'd end up with is one of the world's greatest muscle cars, and that's an SS454 Convertible, and that's what we have right here. So let's take a minute and walk around and look at some of the detail stuff. I always like to talk about the paint because you know what? The paint doesn't lie when it's on video. In pictures you can make it look like anything. So let's come up here and see. What I like to make sure is that you can read all of that crystal clear. Come on up in there, Harshun, and show everybody how you can read every word, and that's nice, all right? The other thing too I talk about is clear coating over the stripes, and the reason that is so important is because what you don't want is these stripes. A lot of times to cut corners, they'll paint and clear and then they stripe this hood afterwards, and the problem is that these stick up above the paint on other cars, and as you wash and wax the cars, these start to tear and start to look ugly, and you don't want that, all right? Hood pins. If you don't love hood pins, man, I don't know what to tell you on that, because hood pins are a muscle car thing, just as they are burning tires. Not that I've ever burned tires or would cause any recklessness, and that's a total disclaimer, so just in case the police are watching this video. All right, let's keep rolling around here. So you're spending some money restoring a car, you need to call, you need to get new chrome, new trim rings for the headlights, new grille, new emblems, turn signal lenses. All right, it goes on and on. The Cowl induction hood, this is a real Cowl induction hood with the flapper door, okay? When you start this up, this goes boom, folds flat, and when you hit on the gas, it pops open to let the cold air that's hitting the windshield inside, and it's sealed against a special air cleaner in there as well. One of the other things too that's important to see is a convertible's body, because what happens over time is these things start to sag and get old, okay? And this right here, listen to that, man. That is really, really nice. And look how nice the gap is. It doesn't hang down there. You got the trim here. You got the correct SS wheels with the Polyglas tires. Now you might say, well, what's the big deal about this right here? Well, the problem is that that's set up right there, even though it's a steel wheel. You have to buy the wheel, you have to buy the center cap, the lug nuts, the trim rings, all of those things there. Then you want to buy the Goodyear Polyglas tires because you want this car to be as authentic as possible. So if you want it to be a better driving car, then we'll put radials on it. If you want to take it to shows and you want it to be really authentic looking, we'll leave those on there. Just let us know which one you'd rather have, all right? I just love the body of this car. I guess I wanted to show you also is this right here. You see how you can see everything? You can read all the words there. That's really important. That's what you want to be looking for as you're looking at all these cars on the internet. Make sure if you're really close to buying something, someone's willing to do this for you as well. All right, let's take a peek under the hood here. All right, this is nicely detailed. Okay, so you want to go to a show? All right, this car here is a little bit over restored, meaning that it's actually a little bit nicer than most of the other restorations that you would see restored to the original factory correct. For instance, like this is a little bit shinier than it should be because they spent a lot of time on this car. They took all these pieces off and they repainted them and they made them look really nice. But the authentic stuff is things like GM hoses, tower clamps, right? The correct Cowl induction air cleaner. Again, GM hoses and things like that around there. And all nicely detailed underneath here. This right here is supposed to be black, and so we have a black one or a chrome one. Your choice, doesn't really matter. But we just got the car and I want to make sure we got the video done so that you could see it before it got lost. All right? And again, powerful. We're talking a 454, huge amounts of torque, and just effortless driving and great power, especially if you want to take the kids out, take another couple out. It's just really cool. This great piece here, especially with a pad on it, big super sport tips. If we can come on down here. This is important here because I want you to see all of the polished pieces. Even the exhaust on this car is polished. This is how beautiful the restoration is. I don't know if you can see, each piece is shiny. Again, that's a little over restored because they didn't come polished like that, but that's how nice this car is. So when I say to you like 100,000 spent, if you have a MagnaFlow exhaust that costs a couple grand and then you want somebody to polish it as well, you can be at $3 grand just for an exhaust. 12-bolt rear there, painted gloss black. The F41 suspension, rear sway bar, painted gloss black. The shocks are a different color, like they're supposed to be, so everything doesn't look like it's a black spray bomb that's going underneath there. All right, let's check out the detail of the trunk itself. Okay, check this out. All right, beautifully painted inside. Again, overly restored because somebody took a lot of time to paint this red when it's really just supposed to be splatter painted. Got the right trunk mat in it. This has got a spare tire in it. It's got the jacking and positive traction decal warnings in there. Nice supple weather stripping. Okay. New wiring, new taillight lenses, the jack and handle are all detailed. It's just a really, really beautifully restored car. All right, come on, let's get in the car together because sooner or later, I'm hoping that you're gonna get in this car. All right, I don't know how accurate this is, but it's showing 175 miles since the restoration. We're told that they restored it as part of a collection, drove it, once in a while. Don't know that to be true or not true, but it seems to be a pretty spectacular car. I gotta tell you, the underneath of the car is equally as nice as the top of the car. There's some great pieces under there. I love this 3-spoke wheel. So this has the factory tach in the dash, 120 mile-an-hour speedometer, clock, and full gauges. Obviously the horn works too, right? This right here, kind of an old school looking radio, but it's upgraded so you can have CD player and things like that if you want. What we could do if you wanted to, we could put a stock radio in here and then put like an Alpine unit where we hide that in the glove box. And that way you could have your satellite, iTunes, all that stuff, and you just operate it right from your phone, which is really cool. White interior, I love white interiors. They just, I don't know, they just look so fresh, especially with the white stripes on here. You see a lot of red cars with black stripes. Red car with white stripes, a little different. White interior makes it look even nicer. The white convertible top that's here looks spectacular. Throw another couple in the back for the kids in the back. You got the flapper hood right there. When you fire the car up, that's closed. When you give it a little gas, that pops open. It just looks awesome when that's happening. So anyway, just a cool, cool piece. All right, so I brought you underneath here. Listen, you're not gonna spend a lot of time under here, but you wanna see this because 25% of the whole restoration of the car is tied up in here, and a lot of effort too. So look at this, how beautiful it is. The frame is painted this beautiful gloss black. The exhaust system is all polished. The frame, the pans themselves are painted gloss black too. There's a lot of extra effort done on this car. But that's what gives you a wonderful, wonderful car. So as we close up the video, man, listen, we talked about so much. We talked about the frame off restoration. I don't want to minimize just that term. That term is a lot of work. When you hear frame off restoration, you can be talking 2 and 3 years just to do something like that because you're completely separating the car and taking every nut and bolt of this car apart and putting it all back together again. That is an enormous amount of work. You should try it in your own garage. You won't even have room to walk around in there once you take everything out of the car, all right? And great colors. Big 454 V8, white bucket seat interior, the white stripes. It just makes for all the cars out there when you pull up into a place with a 454 convertible super sport. It's just bad egg. Anyway, if you're in the market for one awesome muscle car, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about it.